All right, welcome back to the channel. I am joined today by the winner of IMNerd Online Local number 23 for Edison format, Pascal, aka Pudding, who played this Kristya control deck that he actually has been playing for a while now. And honestly, I haven't seen anything quite like this specific deck. Like, we've seen other Kristya decks like Kristya Sworn, right? And this has elements of Kristya Sworn. We've seen the Chaos Fairy deck that plays like dark monsters like this one does, but never have I seen it all together like this. I've never seen Miraculous Descent in a main deck of a deck, honestly, at all in Edison, so that's also new for me. And the solar recharges with the charge and everything like that, like I've seen people play charge, but solar recharge on top of that is usually not something you see in a dedicated fairy deck like this one. So this is a very unique take, I would say, on the fairy playstyle and just abusing the probably the most powerful boss monster in the format. Honestly, when this thing drops, most decks just fold immediately. So what made you decide to build this? Like, how did you come up with this deck? I know you said something about Chaos Dragons and another format, but could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So I played like pure fairies and the deck was a lot of fun, but I just found it was really slow a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're playing against anything that has some gas, the deck just folds a lot of the time,
And when you say pure
especially if you're
fairies, you
going
mean like
second.
the triple Shining Angel, triple Nova Summoner, a bunch of normal summon deck, right? Like that deck.
Yeah, like DD Warrior Ladies, everything like that. It really folds to like faster decks a lot
Yeah,
of the time. And also, I think D-Alk is like one of the best cards in the format. The fact that it's pretty much always just giving you recursion. And like if you banish a Gores, if you banish a Kristya, you're just getting that back to your hand for
yeah,
free. And 1800 also ties with Stratos, ties with Gear Frame, ties with
sure.
Shura, so you can
Yep.
just crash and get a +1. And it's really great if you're like playing into Blackwings and they've got like a Shura and an Icarus attack. They're kind of in a fucked situation and they just have to. Sorry about swearing if
Oh no, you
that's.
could this is the I Am
But
Nerd channel. We curse over here.
yeah, it just gives you the plus. It's so good, and I wanted it to be live all the time. So what I took inspiration from is what you mentioned before. I play a lot of old formats for fun, and one of my favorites is September 2012.
Hmm.
And this is based off the Chaos Dragon list at the time. So that's after Future Fusion got hit from March, and it's pretty much just the Lightsworn engine with recharges to get your grave filled up and going, and then a bunch of extenders that you can use to push through and power play. And it's pretty much the same thing. Like instead of the Veilers, you have the Heralds. Instead of like a Maxi or something, you have an Extra Honest, but you're playing the same hand traps, you're playing the same control-based style. And you've got, I think it's 8 extenders that you can just special summon for free that are all super powerful in your Purity and Lights, your Kristyas, your Enrise, and your Chaos Sorcerer. And the deck is just like incredibly fast. It turbos to Kristya normally by turn 2 or 3, because with a deck like this, if you resolve like a solar recharge, you
Right.
are normally getting 2 fairies in grave first turn, and then 1 herald activation, or like you can bring out a purity by banishing the light sworns and then tributing off the soul or synchro with a herald to get you to exactly 4. The Christie is live like all the time.
I just counted. I think there are 19 fairies in this deck, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so
Because this
over
whole
half your
top row.
mills should be
Yeah.
fairies, which is really good. And the other mills, like another thing I built the deck around is I want every mill to be as optimal as possible. So if you look, I'm not playing anything that's like a really bad mill. Like the light sworns are usable for soul purity and light. You can also banish them off of soul and then recur them with alchemist to make your recharges live, which is really
Right.
nice.
That's actually really cool.
So
Yeah. Alchemist is so good.
dude, it's the best card bar none. It's unbelievable. And with Miraculous Descent, which is another card that I put in, it's almost always going to be a chainable +1. I
Hmm.
always keep it in my hand until it will pretty much make up for itself. So in the tournament, a lot of the time, people will like Lila into your back row, or they'll MST, or they'll heavy or something. If you chain it and you've got an Alchemist, not only does it get an extra fairy back in your grave, but it triggers the Alchemist, so you just get to add any of your banished cards back.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess because he wouldn't miss timing in that case because the Heavy Storm or MST would be Chainlink 1.
Yeah, which
So
is
yeah.
really, really nice. You can also use it to bring back Honest, or you can bring back the Herald, the Synchro. And if you bring back the Herald, make a 6, you can make a Brionac, and then it floats, so you can just pitch it and get back your Miraculous Descent right away, which is really nice
Ooh.
too.
So wait, this says when this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed. Oh, so if you sync when that monster is destroyed, so when you synchro, it doesn't leave the field.
No, it stays.
Oh,
really
interesting. So if you bring back Herald and you synchro, this will stay. If you make a Brianna, you can pitch, like you said, bounce Miraculous Descent back to your hand and then reuse it. Also, I saw you do something really broken last night. Your opponent flipped a hamster and you activated Miraculous Descent and summoned Kristya that you gold sarked on turn 1, I'm pretty sure. And so when you gold sark, obviously if you do something to the card that was removed from play, aka Miraculous Descent, you won't get it in 2 turns, but like who the hell cares? Because if your opponent's flipping a hamster and you're bringing back Kristya, not only does it negate the hamster, but now they have to out that Kristya like immediately. Otherwise, the game starts to fall apart really bad. And it's in Edison format, it's not normal for someone to disrupt what you're trying to do with a card. It like a 2800 monster comes out of nowhere that says that effect is negated and you have to deal with this body now. Like that's not a normal thing. I think the closest thing we've seen is the rock deck that plays Release from Stone and triple Fossil Dyna. It can kind of do something similar, but Fossil Dyna is so easy to beat over that you kind of just look at it like, all right, you stopped my hamster, but now I'm just going to summon Armageddonite, send this thing to the grave, and then attack over it. But you're just not beating over a Kristya that easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really good. And against the frog deck, I did something similar as well, where you just chain it and you bring out on their Substitute, tribute is cost, you bring out a Kristya, and then they're in a really, really bad spot.
Yeah, this card is definitely underused in Edison format. Also, let's talk about your side deck a little bit. So I like a lot of the things here. Soul Release, obviously you have the Consecrated Lights. Needle Sealing, let's talk about that a little bit. Why do you play Needle Sealing in this deck?
I play it against Dragon Turbo and against Frogs for when they do block, because actually if you look at it, do block isn't always the easiest thing to out. You either have to Ryko Flip, Caius, Enrise, Sword, or like Synchro. So Needle Sealing, it's just really unexpected as well, because most good players will side out all their Spell and Trap hate against you, because you are playing cards that are pretty much all chainable. Like your 3 traps are all chainable and normally get you some kind of value back, and there's nothing alive in the back row most of the time otherwise. So a Needle Sealing or a TT is so good, and also if you've got an Alchemist, you get the Alchemist plus off of using it.
Yep.
And most of the cards the deck sets, so if you have like a set Nova Summon or something like that, and that happened against me against Dragon Turbo yesterday. The guy full extended into my set to try and OTK me with Instant Fusion and Debris, and then just flip the Needle Sealing and go +2.
I was going to say another thing that I think you could be doing, let me know what you think about this, but you could side deck 1 copy of Aaron, and I just learned about that tech from playing Amaryllis a couple weeks ago. And I just took the deck list straight from Nick Truda and Little Man Yu-Gi-Oh! But he sides a copy of Aaron. So his deck plays the same exact Lightsworn monsters. It plays 2 Ryko, 2 Lila. You're maxing out, obviously, because your deck is like more dedicated to milling. But siding the Aaron is actually really, really good for this type of deck, because it kind of is like just a toolbox monster, and it's good against things like zombies and decks that tend to just set monsters more often that they want to get destroyed. Zombies is the main one that comes to mind, obviously, but I can see it also being good against other decks as well that just like to set monsters and can get squishy, including things like the Mirror Match, where your opponent might not be expecting it. But I can see this deck siding a 1 copy of Aaron as like a thing, because you have the Charge Light Brigade, of course, and then you just have like it naturally synergizes with your engine already. That's like the only thing that I was thinking, like, oh man, this just reminded me of the Amaryllis deck in that way.
No, I think that's super fair. That's a good idea to put in the sideboard for sure.
Yeah, like I typically, me personally, I like Soul Release, but I only like it at 1, if I'm being honest. I am so scared of drawing multiples of that card, or obviously the other thing is that if you draw it after the fact, but you can't, like, no matter how many you play, you can't control that. It's kind of the same problem with Crossout and stuff like that. But I think this card is actually, it's a lot better than it was earlier in the format. I feel like now in 2024, almost everybody is citing a copy of this now, because Dragon Turbo is very prevalent. Amaryllis is way more popular than it's ever been. Both of those decks I just named are way more popular. Kristya Sworn has been picking up steam. It's another very popular deck. Obviously, Frogs, there's so many different versions of Frogs, and they're all annoying. Soul Release just deals with like every deck I just named in a really cool way, where you get to banish some of their stuff, but you can also banish your own things because you have natural synergies. And I know that you do that as well with Soul Release, right? Like, it's just a normal play for your deck to banish your own stuff as well.
That's the main reason I'm playing 2. Because it synergizes with Descent and Alchemist. There's a lot of games, like I think in the tournament 2 weeks ago where I got second, I opened Recharge, milled Kristya against Frogs, used the release to banish his Treeborn and Grave.
Yeah.
And then when he 1-for-1'd, I also banished my Kristya, just chained the Descent on his 1-for-1, bring out a Kristya, and that's game over.
Well, speaking of replays, we have some here, so why don't we get into these real quick? I'm going to turn the dual sounds off because they can be a little annoying. But here's the first one against Spiral. I think he's playing Frogs. Yes, he's playing like a crazy Solidarity Frog deck. I think he ended up getting 4th last night. But this deck it's actually not bad. I was expecting it to be like a meme. But then he started making these guys 2,700, and there were 3 of them on the field, and I was like, that's not okay.
Yeah, I think this deck just has a really bad matchup against me. Like right there.
Oh, 100%.
Just use the Descent. Bring back the Kristya. If he outs me here, I think I have 4 fairies in grave.
Yeah, you have double honest, so you can make it. You can make it 4 fairies in grave, whatever you feel like it. Yeah, this got bad quick because I don't even know. Like you're like honest that, and then naturally he's gonna attack Kristya too, probably.
I think he goes for the
Oh,
elf,
okay. He goes for elf. And you're just like, I'm
is...
very sorry, my friend, but I actually have both. And you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Honest is so gross of a card.
So gross in this deck, especially if you just like get to establish against the board. In that last game, like if I don't have the second honest, I can just tribute the D-Elk for Caius, banish his frog, and then drop Kristya with 4 fairies in grave.
All right, so we torrential. So we stopped the dupe stuff from going crazy, or the substitute stuff from going crazy there. I wonder though, what did he do with this? This is kind of confusing. So you torrentialed on what part? Because he didn't summon a monster after. And
on the Treeborn summon.
Okay, because he still has priority to use substitute when Treeborn hits the field. So I'm curious why he didn't do that. Because normally torrential, you usually have to hold it until they do something with like you let them set up the dupe block or whatever, or if they try to go like Unifrog, Dupe Frog, you're like, all right, like I'll torrential as soon as the Unifrog hits the field because now you're going to go to battle phase. But typically while they're doing their combo, the other part that you can hit them with torrential with is when they go summon Swap Frog and activate effect to send a substitute from the deck to the grave. That's another good time to torrential. But it looks like I don't know if he realized that he had priority.
That definitely wasn't the best play there.
Yeah, but, so he goes into it again with Salvage, which is an insane card. And now he does full dupe block. So now we get to see, like you were saying, you need basically like a Ryko or something to deal with that. Luckily, you have it too. So this is going to help to out the dupe block. Build the Soul Release. Luckily, you played 2. He is not afraid to attack your... I'm so afraid to attack face down fairies because I'm just scared that Kristya is going to somehow manifest.
Yeah, that's what happens here. This is absolutely brutal. Like, he's got the TT, but if you look, what I did was I managed to make my fairy count 4 if he TTs on the Kristya Reborn.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I see what's happening here.
So he scoops after this because even if he chains the TT, then my Kristya goes back to the top, and there's 4 fairies in grave, and it's instantly live next
Yeah,
time.
once the Solar Purity and Light hits the grave, you'll have 1, 2, 3 plus the Solar Purity. That'll be 4. That's going back to the top. You're drawing this card. His hand has absolutely no way to deal with it unless he can get this barrier statue out and protect it, and it looks like he cannot do that. So that was a quick 2-0, and Frogs is, like you said, it's definitely one of your best matchups. It's one of the nightmare matchups for me as a Frog player, so I get that. Okay, let's move on to... We got...
This game has this one's really disgusting hit.
All right, let's see it. Oh, his hand's nice. Double solar recharge. He gets to resolve both, and he milled the plague. Okay, that's not bad. And then get the hamster with the beckoning light. I actually saw this game last night. This is the one that I literally referenced like 2 seconds ago. Yeah, you guys do this Herald thing. This is some modern Yu-Gi-Oh shit. You guys are not even playing Edison anymore because no other deck can do all of this from the hand. Like, you guys are negating shit from your hands. It's just so unhinged. But okay, so you fight to make sure that your Lila gets the mill. And
this is what I mean about the deck gets to Kristya incredibly fast. Like, if he outs this Miraculous Descent Kristya, it's instantly live again.
Yeah, you have 4 fairies. Because your deck, I mean, you played 19 fairies. So, yeah, it's really hard for you not to have 4 very quick. Yeah, and then he's just in a spot of all time here. Like, all right, I don't know if attacking the Lila is correct. I almost feel like he needs you to kind of overmill. Like, I think that his win condition is like, I need this to mill again. I need this to overmill fairies, and then hopefully Kristya will like run into so basically what I'm saying is that Kristya will run into the Celestia, catch an Honest, go to the top, and then either Lila will mill the Kristya at the end, like the next end phase, or if you're just like, I'm not attacking until your Celestia because I feel like you have Honest, then this will still mill and hopefully overmill your fairies, and then he can try to deal with Kristya with the Honest, and then it'll be like, okay, you're top decking a card that you can't summon. But I think killing this and keeping you hovering at 4, I don't know about that. Like, this is because look at what he has to do now. Like, okay, so now what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, are you gonna do something to stop it from happening again? Because yeah, she's just coming back out. Well, the next, yeah, this is not. I mean, granted, this tournament happened late, so I'm not like shitting on James here because he's actually a really good player. But the second you're put in a situation where your opponent has a monster like Lila on the field and it's going to mill mandatory on the end phase, I think that your best bet is to have it mill. Like, you need it to mill. You need them to over mill and then out the Kristya that way. That's like your only hope. Or if he attacks, like I said, into your Celestia, you just Honest it, and then it'll go to the top, and then it'll mill. Hopefully, if you don't, at the time you didn't have this, but hopefully you can clear it to give yourself, a chance to not overmill or whatever. But I think that was his only win condition. I think the game is like, I don't see you losing this game now.
Yeah, that's another Kristya, and then.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't even let him Ryko it. You're just like, nope, I don't want to play this game anymore. I just want to force my plays through. Okay, so he opens up double recharge again. That's really good. And he is now at 1, 2, 3 fairies already with 3 different Lightsworn names. So I mean, as a Kristya Swarm player, I would be ecstatic about that opening. Okay, Cyber Dragon comes in, nice.
I play the Cyber Dragons also just as like a going second way to deal with Ryko, because Ryko can be really, really like harsh on your tempo.
Yeah.
You can't get your angels set up or anything set up.
Honest again. Card's insane. Alright, so here's Kristya. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 fairies.
He's thankfully over fairy count.
Yes, because he just Honest over the or no, that was you who just Honest. So yeah, he's just over. He's just actually over. He overmilled Arcus. A very annoying monster to deal with. So charge gets a wolf.
And yeah, this time I just died because it distributes for Kristya.
Yeah, that could actually just happen. So hindsight's 2020, obviously, but consideration that you might have needed to DD Crow that wolf because you also
couldn't because of the Arcus.
Oh shit. Arcus is so
yeah,
you're right.
Arcus
You're absolutely right. You can't even do it. All right.
And I couldn't main phase 2 Sork to banish it because Arcus prevents that too. So
jeez, yeah,
just turn off my hand.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Otherwise, the source would have been really good, but
yeah,
Arcus cooked me.
Yeah, you got
that card's insane.
That card is broken. I actually don't know why Lightsworn players don't run multiple because I think that like when I'm playing Frogs and the games where they have that one Arcus are the hardest games in the world. I'm frantic to get it off the field because I know what could happen if it doesn't leave the field. I just lose the game. So many of my cards don't work. Caius's, Econ's, Brain Control, like all that shit is just terrible. The only saving grace is Miracle Fusion. But if you don't have Miracle Fusion, which happens a lot, you just start losing the game to just an Arcus. Like by itself. They don't need the JD, they don't need the Kristya, you just lose to Arcus.
And if they have an Honest with it as well, then it's just...
Yeah, it's really bad. Okay, so yeah, like you said, this game is cooked now. This Kristya is not leaving the field. Okay, well that's 2 games where Kristya just did the absolute most. Alright, 1 fairy. Okay, so you set the torrential there, and again he opens up Solar Recharge, and this time with a Dust Shoot. That is very good. So you Crow, the 1 Lightsworn, that's the only one. Yep, get the pop on Lumina, and you mill. So now you have 2 fairies. Yep.
And I have enough to bring out the Sopal.
Okay, so here's where he's like, I'm going to Dust Shoot you in the stamina phase, basically. Solar Purity Light, you're like, fuck it, I'm just going in. I do have a torrential just in case like Gores came down or whatever. So he can't like overwhelm me with a Gores. Mill a Wolf. Call.
He misplays, I think, on the next turn.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Because he doesn't read Soul and Purity and Light. This is like, if I could have resolved that, that would have pretty much been game instantly.
Yes.
Because I could just crash and then
100%.
make a Stardust Kristya, which is pretty strong.
Yep. So here, yeah, like you said, I saw this live. I think this was the last duel I saw before I went to sleep. But he runs into your Soul, Purity, and Light, and you're like, all right, damage step. And he gives the thumbs up, and you're like, all right, well, your guy's dead. Like, I'm not using anything. I don't have to use anything here, even if I had something to use. Like, I have no incentive to do so. Your wolf is at 1800. Solar Purity Light does have an effect. And yep, here's Ryko. So you had the two Kristyas, which were dead for a while. The other thing I was going to ask you, when you were banishing for Solar Purity and Light, you banished Ryko and Lila, and you had double Ryko. Is there a reason why you banished the Lila?
I think it's just if I get to the Dimensional Alchemist, it gives me an option.
Gotcha.
Like any back row.
That's totally fair. That is 100% fair. The only reason I was wondering, because I was like, I wonder if, because you had Call It a Haunted, so I was wondering if like maybe Lila in the grave would be something, but the Deok future play is like, I get it. All right, so
this is where Descent's also really strong, because it modulates my fairies here. So that is going from the banished into my graveyard, and with the Honest, it's pretty much guaranteed to be live.
Yeah, this got bad. This card literally, like right now, this is the best card you could have right here, in my opinion. Like it literally does everything you want it to do. It gives you a body, a sticky body too. I call the recruiters that are light, Shining Angel and Nova Summoner, I call these sticky because it's really hard to get through all of them. And typically people don't want to get through all of them. Like you don't even want to. You're like he had the Vortex there, and it doesn't feel good to Vortex that monster because one, it's one monster. So you're already going neg on that exchange. Like, what did he discard? Yeah, Plague Spreader, but like that's still a neg. Like, no matter how you look at it, because Plague Spreader, even when you use the effect, is also, sets you back technically.
And that's one of the cool things about the deck as well. Like against frogs and a lot of decks that are starting to play with Regeki Break and Wing Blast, things like Lila just force out the good card. And they don't modulate your fairy count for Kristya. So if you've got a live Kristya, you just summon the Lila into the back row, forces out like a bottomless or Regeki Break something, and then your Kristya is still guaranteed to be live afterwards, with like no matter what the response is.
Yeah,
and just draw Soul Pal and Honest.
And you were already in a good spot even if you did not have that, because you could just go Soul Taker, summon Honest, attack, and if you really wanted to be rude about it, you could just be like, pass with the Honest on the field. Like, you could literally just be like, I'm Pat, like, go ahead. Like, I'm at 63, you're top decking essentially, and I have an Honest out there with 3 fairies in the grave. You know exactly what the fuck it means. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You could just play really ignorant at that point. This deck is nice. I really like your deck. Like, I've seen you play it for a couple tournaments now. You've already won a tournament too before this one, because I was going to give you the role of tournament winner in the Discord server, but then I was like, oh, Pudding already has it. So yeah, this deck be cooking. All right, so this is the finals, and this is set 1 of the finals because your opponent was in the winner side of grand finals and you were coming from losers, so that means you had to beat him twice. So this is set 1.
Game 1 is a lot more entertaining than game 2, which is why I said game 1 is probably the best highlight. Yeah. Game 2 goes to game 3, but he kind of bricks game 3, so it's not as good as a watch.
Oh, you mean like the second
the main
set?
Deck Fossil Bite fucking hurts. This card's really good.
Yeah, and Mocking to Control does main deck it. This is wild. This actually messes you up so bad. Oh my god. Yay, you drew a number 1.
And the good thing is it's not that good against this deck, especially if you're like going second into it. They need a lot of back row to defend it, because if you look at the list, Ryko outs it, Deok outs it, Summoner outs it, Angel outs it, Lila outs it, like so many tons of cards just smack it. Yeah, it's definitely not some like end all be all against you for sure. It just specifically sucks in that one scenario where you set it turn 1. Like, I honestly think that once you know that he's on shit like this, you just start summoning your recruiters face up. Like, you could just play like that for the rest of, oh god, not book. This Fossil Knight is doing the most. Oh and shit. Here I summon the, because I have a feeling that's either like a Ryko or he can tribute for Kai's next turn.
Yeah.
So I just decide to hit it, and if it's a Ryko, then he has to pop my face up Ryko, which is really mid, and I have a Gores, so.
Nice. This was a heads up play.
So here I bring out the Sopal. If he's got TT here, or Mirror Force, my Kristya is live, which is really nice, and the Soul Purity and Light also makes my Miraculous Descent live for next turn.
Oh god, he fell for it too. He took the on summon, yes. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I never priority
Yeah,
dimensional
because it can only go bad, right? It can only miss timing,
Yeah.
basically. So you're like, no, I'll just let that resolve. And this has to be game, right? Like this is just game.
Yeah, this is
I can't imagine unless he specifically draws.
I think he
Blade
gets the
Controller.
YGO, but it doesn't matter in the long run. Like the tempo here, I just have Kristya pretty much infinitely reset.
Yeah.
And with Soul and Purity and Light, even if I like overmill or do something, the Kristya is going to be live again. So see here, just chain
here's
it
that
and get
shit
a
you were
free
talking
plus.
about.
Yeah.
That's so good. Miraculous Descent is nice. Yo, no one plays this card. That card is fucking nice. Yep, and you're back. Yeah, this is let him cook. And you have honest too.
Yeah, that's just like
No fear, because what's in here? Torrential's in here. You're like, yeah, what can you even do? Like, what am I afraid of? Even if he mirror forced, right? You're like, okay, I go back to 4 fairies. Kristya goes on top. Pass. All right, that was a great draw for him.
Just let it go through because I have the honest, so doesn't matter what he does. He's just dead.
Yeah, you don't care. You're like, I'm going to keep my fairy count exactly where it is, and you're dead.
And if he wasn't, I have Kristya alive next turn, so he's super dead.
Okay. Let's see. We have Hamster, Bottomless. Pretty good opening for decks that play Hamster Echo Caius. Yeah. So I want to say he summoned Lila in main phase 2, and this is one of the things where, like, if they don't know your list, they don't know that they could be more aggressive, right? Because you don't really play like regular traps. So whereas he could have done like this main phase 1 and tried to go in harder, he held it back, which, you know, that's fine. Like, you don't, this deck is definitely unconventional. Mills of Plague there, that was pretty good. But you had a chainable MST. All your traps, like you said, are pretty chainable. All your back row are pretty chainable usually, so... Oh, God. Double trip for Fortress. Oh, you have the Cyber Dragon with...
the Cyber Dragon.
With a Royal Decree. Let him cook. Yeah, get in. Get in. You don't have any fairies?
Just going for fairy mills.
Yeah, you don't have any. Yeah, alright, you got one. It could be better, but... Oh no.
And here, yeah, that's just game over.
All right, that was the first set, and I guess since we're here, we might as well watch the finals for real. Like, this is the true grand finals now. None of these really, yeah. This is a minus, which you're like, okay, ooh, this is a lot of trying to go in for a lot.
The trag here is really strong though, because I can just take the Lila and pop his guy, or pop his back row. You just wall up here, set some things. I set the bluff recharge just in case he had like a dust or an MSD.
Mm-hmm. So
and here's a portion where I misplay. There was like a lot of thinking here and a lot of time. And I think I activate this to set the turn I set it, but it doesn't have any impact. I still lose this game, so.
You mean like the descent, I guess?
Yeah.
Call is going over, or does it stay? I forget. Okay, yeah, you guys are having like a little conversation. Right, so it gets discarded. Okay, yeah, I'm glad that had like no actual impact on anything.
Because I still die here.
Yeah, and you were always going to pop that fortress no matter what, because it was the monster that was in your way.
I think it's actually pretty close here. I go for a Goyo.
Yeah, this is actually not a bad position, honestly. Like, you can take fortress, and he'll pop Goyo, of course, but you taking a fortress, and this can't switch back to attack mode anytime soon.
And I get the mills off of it,
and you get the mill. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that can happen. So you go for the Lila. Okay, get some mills. I wonder if taking fortress here would have been better. Just as like she's stuck like this.
Do you get the fortress if you crash into it?
I think you do. Comment section, let us know. But I think when Goyo attacks fortress, it's like, this is optional, and this guy is, let's see, he's mandatory, right? If this card is destroyed by battle to the graveyard, it is mandatory. So I think the way this works is this is chain link 1, this is chain link 2, because this is an optional effect. and they both meet their trigger like around the same time. Like when it's destroyed by battle, it's sent to the grave. This says when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it sends it to the grave. So they both activate around the same time. But I think the more important thing is like, I think that this is going to be Chain Link 1 because it's a mandatory effect. And if that's the case, then Goyo is Chain Link 2, which means it steals it, and then he gets to like pop. Well, he also has to target Goyo because there's nothing else to really target at the time of activation. Like when it activates, right, it has to target. So that's how I think it works. The comment section will 100% let us know if we're wrong about that, or if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, I think if you take that, the game could end up being different, you know, because then like
I didn't think I could. That's me being inexperienced with it.
I don't know if I'm right, but the comments will 100% let us know. they love, if nothing else, they love pointing out things that they know we don't. So let's see where it goes. But
and Ryko to make the Alchemist this time is really bad.
Yeah, this was a string of good draws right there. That whole thing, he was in a bad situation and he just kind of like top decked out of it. Okay, charge. So let's see what charge mill. The Cyber Dragon. Again, no fair. This graveyard is very similar to your graveyard the other game. It looked exactly the same.
The good thing about this though is the Cyber Dragon does make where it is a soul target, and then you can just add it back off Alchemist.
That's gross. Your deck can actually just like tutor into the Cyber Dragon. I'm using Magic terms for some reason, I don't know why. But okay, so you're in for a lot. He does have Gores, but you have Honest and Kristya. All right, so he takes a lot of life points there. 3,500 total this turn, and you have 4 fairies in circulation. 1 in grave, 2 on field, 1 in hand. So like, I see the writing on the wall. I don't know if it's going to play out that way, but the writing is there.
The reason I did this was I wasn't expecting the Caius. The Caius turning off the DL makes it a bit rougher.
Yeah.
So I'm 1 fairy off here.
Yep.
But I can take out the Gores, and then I'm still in a pretty good position.
Heavy Storm, set the Ryko. Yep. Was that the 4 fairy?
I think so, yeah.
3, 4, oh no.
So I attack that in case it's a Ryko. I lose the 50-50, or like a Ryko or Fossil Bina, and it's the hamster, which is pretty ouchy, but I can still Kristya in phase 2, and then he's forced to pop me, and I got the Honest to protect the Ryko.
Okay, so he's in a spot where he can Book of Moon, Kristya, and then flip Ryko and pop it, and I don't think he goes to the top. I wonder if he's going to do that? No, he doesn't do that. And instead, he's going to let you perpetually have 1, 2, 3, and you have an Honest in hand. Yeah, I think
4.
he needed to Book of Moon the Kristya so that it just goes to grave forever. Because this is probably going to just come back out.
Yeah, I just damaged up the Honest anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Kristya says if this face-up card would be sent from the field to the graveyard, place it on top. So he could have flipped Ryko, target Kristya, see what you do, because if you could just have Herald of Orange Light. And once you're like, I'm not doing anything, then he can go chain, Book of Moon, put her face down. She'll get sent to the graveyard because she got sent face down. Same thing with like Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero does not activate when it's face down. So if you do anything to an Absolute Zero, like Caius it, Compulse it, whatever, if it's face down, it does not activate. And it looks like Kristya is the same way, where it won't go to the top.
I think I still probably would have been in a fine situation if he did that, because I had Sidra Honest.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you would have lost or anything. I'm saying that he would have had a chance to play the game, because the alternative is now he can't play.
Yes, that's true.
The alternative is, oh, well, that was a good draw. The alternative is, oh, all 3 Rykos are gone.
Yeah,
now.
all 3 Rykos are gone.
Oh man, this is, yeah. There's just there's no shot now. Like there's no shot. You just have to be like, all right, well, I'm done. Okay, here we go. This is for everything, right? So this is the last game of the finals. This is for all the marbles. This is for first place, who I think it was 8 people. So this $10 entry for each person is $40 for first. Second was like $24, and third was like $16. So the $80 prize pool was split that way. And
I thought I was dead with this hand. Dust Shoot with the Gear Frame and a Caius with the Ryko is pretty strong against the deck.
This is an incredibly good opening, honestly. Dust Shoot, Ryko, Gear Frame, Caius. Heavy is like subjective. I would have probably sorted this out by now because he's played you for several games, and I don't think you've ever had more than 1 back row at any point in any duel.
I think the reason he kept it in was because I sideboarded the Decree, which really, really hurts him.
Yeah, my only problem with that, and I get that logic, my only problem with that thinking, though, is like, I'd rather just trust that my deck plays Lila and Ryko and MST and stuff like that. Because Heavy Storm, if you're a trap deck and your intent is to like continue to play traps through Royal Decree, it's kind of awkward to Heavy Storm, because who are you Heavy Storming? You're going to be Heavy Storming your own traps unless you just don't have any set at the time, which is like wishful thinking. It's a catch-22 situation. Yeah, like you're the trap deck, right? That's the reason why you are getting decreed to begin with. So Heavy Storm is often going to affect you more than it'll affect your opponent, who like you don't have traps. Like this is game 3, you don't have traps. So I think that I would have took out the Heavy Storm. I think that this would have just been better as something else. You also have Caius, and you have multiple ways. Like his deck has multiple ways to deal with a Decree, and like if you just don't see one of those ways, I don't think Heavy Storm is going to be the reason why you win the game. To be honest, I just don't. But yeah, he drew an MST, and like you have double Lila at least. Okay, so here, Book of Moon. I can see the writing on the wall. It's just gonna be, we're gonna Caius this. You also hid the Decree just now. That was cute.
that was a lucky 50-50.
But you know what's funny about that is like, you hit your Decree, he has Heavy, so like he has an opportunity here to Heavy Storm, but he's not even using it. I don't know. I feel like
this is some heart of the card shit happening right here.
Oh god, disasters are abound.
So with Fortress, he takes the Soul because the Kristya is completely dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then off the Ryko mills, I mill Perfect to make.
I don't know why he played
alive.
Russian Roulette with you right here. I have no idea why this man played Russian Roulette. There's no fucking way. There's no way. The only way I would even do what he just did is if I think that for some reason that back row is calling a Haunted, and I'm like, I don't want to discard the Kristya because I think it's called a Haunted. But that's also unhinged thinking because you have Heavy Storm, right? So like what is happening? This is crazy. He just played the craziest game of Russian Roulette. Yeah, now he's scrambling. Like now this is looking. This card is looking crazy. This is looking crazier and crazier. These two draws need to be cracked. They need to be like bottomless and something else, because then he could go heavy, set the bottomless, right, and then he's good. They are not heavy and they are not bottomless in another card, so he just, yeah, he's in a really bad spot now. I mean, the game just falls apart immediately, and Dialk also
with like that just into a +1.
Snowball. It is just snowball. Like you're back to 4 immediately, right? Yep, you're back to 4. Rips a Ryko, his favorite card to draw every time you have Kristya, I noticed, like literally every time, except last game when he had all 3 Rykos in the grave, but he did rip the charge to try to get one. Like that happens to you every game.
Yeah, here I just do that so if he removes my field, I get Kristya alive.
Yep.
I definitely get a bit greedy here and I set the Decree. Second Decree didn't need to do that. That was stupid.
Yeah, so he finally gets some value off the Heavy Storm, only because you set a second Decree, which, like you even said yourself, it wasn't necessary to do that.
No, that wasn't necessary.
Because MST is gone. Like he doesn't. Yeah, I think
the only reason it would have been okay is if he had a Lila, but then I still get punished even more. So
yeah.
And like here again, he can't deal with his board, or I get the live Kristya instantly, and I think he does not get to a machine here. He draws Fossil Dyna, and Fossil Dyna, he dies. Because if he sets the Fossil Dyna, it blows up my Soul Pal. I have 4. I can just Kristya.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I cannot believe that when he saw that Kristya in your hand, and like a Ryko, the next step of Ryko is that it's going to mill cards. I cannot believe that he was like, fuck it, I'm playing Russian Roulette right now. There's no way I'm risking it. I'm like, yeah, pitch Kristya, keep your Soul Purity Light. Fuck your Soul Purity Light. Yeah,
I think he even says that after he says he should have gone for the...
That's a lot of text.
The Kristya, yeah.
That was a lot of text. All right, those are some good replays. Now, why don't we take this one to the ladder? I'm going to try my hand at a duel. You know, I love Edison ladder. Nothing makes me happier than some good old...
Oh, fast game.
Yeah, you're going to have to coach me through this. Well, let's see.
Just hope you don't draw the famous all extenders recharges with no peewees.
Wait. My opponent is actually AJT. That is unhinged. Oh, that's so funny. That's so
pretty
funny.
Strong opening too.
This is a pretty good opening. I wish I went first. Please don't dust shoot me. All I ask, AJ, is that you don't dust shoot me. Like, okay, I actually... Fuck!
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Why do I just call it all the time? I just hate that I call things so well. Alright, anyway. So, I guess it depends on, like, what he takes, of course.
You can probably just, like... He's probably going to go for the Raikou here, because your Herald's live either way, right?
Yeah.
Herald's just live.
Yeah.
If that's a set Raikou, you have Herald and you have a Nova Summoner. So even if he like tries to flip a Raikou, you can stop it and then he can't Kai's you, and you're in a pretty decent game state. I'd say this is
would you ever consider summoning Nova Summoner? Oh, never mind. He took it.
Yeah. I think that's probably his correct play. But
yeah. Yeah.
So I would probably just set the Raikou here.
Yeah.
And you have the Herald to stop whatever he does.
I hate trap dash shoot. I fucking called that.
Oh
I was
no,
like,
it's literally fucking game losing. I thought that game 3 was done when he first turned dust shoot at me. Just the fact that going second is already so bad in older formats. Going second with them taking your best card, and yeah, I'd say that's worth it there.
Yeah, I just can't. All right. I know he's probably like, what the fuck is this deck?
Yeah.
Yep, charge. Another Raikou. Okay, that's 2 Raikous down, and Gores is gone, which we'll take it. Allure.
I wonder what he's playing.
This is definitely Value
Twilight?
Turbo. No, this is Value Turbo.
Value
this
Turbo.
is
That's normally a pretty good matchup for this deck.
Yeah, look at that. This is fucking Value Turbo. He's playing the most popular deck. Oh god, his hand. What is happening? It's a lot of one-of spells that he just played 3 one-of spells.
Hit a Dark and Kristya and you're gaming.
Oh, that would be gross. I wonder if he's gonna Brio me.
Could be. I don't know.
Okay, he didn't Brio
That's
me.
nice.
Yeah. Slash
Okay.
level 3. Oh. Okay.
And this is what I mean. If you draw Kristya, you're just absolutely gaming. Kristya, Soul of Purity, and Light. Bunch of cards here just put you in such a strong position. That is unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate, actually. And my opponent has 3 darks. All right, we're just gonna pass. We haven't taken any life yet. His deck can just kill me because it's Value Turbo. I could just die. All right, but he's setting monsters, which honestly work. All right, 2 Raikous are gone. He did charge for another Raikou. I believe that did happen. So that's just a Raikou set.
You
So
can
like,
probably just pass on that.
yeah, because I mean, he didn't.
If
do
it's a
anything.
Raikou,
Now just drawing double Miraculous Descent in the game that we got.
yeah, dust shooted,
Yeah,
and he milled a Vayu.
I'm not mad at it.
It's not bad for you, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get into a recharge right now, you're absolutely gaming. Recharge, Soul of Purity and Light. There's so many cards that put you straight back into the game here. That's pretty good. If you hit a nice card off of that.
I want to hit a dark. We hit a dark.
Oh! And you can instantly make your Sopal live. You can Lila, I would Lila first to just like remove the back row. And then you can priority the Sork. And you're gaming.
All right, let's see where this goes. Hmm. Okay. All right. All right. So this goes to defense.
And
Okay.
then just banish a Kristya with the Sork.
Yep.
And banish that Gores. And you are absolutely fucking gaming. Because I think you have 4 fairies after this, unless you mill. You're probably going to mill out, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty good.
No, I'm banishing it. All right. Is Heavy Storm anywhere? No. So we have Miraculous. We have the Kristya.
You can set 2 in case it's a bottomless, but then you get pretty punished by burst attack.
I mean, yeah. If he's playing Icarus, though, that's like that's a tech choice that they don't usually do. Some people do, but like it's not a guarantee type of vibe. Okay. 3. Okay. So he's at 4 darks.
And you can just chain. Yeah, this is really nasty. Oh. And now he's just Omega dead.
Right. All right. Yeah, this got bad really quick.
I said, with this list, all you need is like 1 good mill or 1 good card, and you just pop off like crazy.
Yeah, this deck is something. Oh, isn't Torrential gone?
Torrential is indeed gone, so you just smack him in the face.
I just summoned
Get
Lila.
that?
Yeah.
Pop it, and he is pretty screwed. And next turn, you have another Lila live, so that's game over.
That was gross, bro.
No, the deck can really be gross. So against Vayu Turbo, normally when I side, I like taking out a bit of the engine that gets worse. So I normally take out like 1 recharge, one of the slower Lightsworns that's like worse going second.
So like
maybe like a Ryko.
Yeah.
And then you can take out the Gold Sarks as well.
Yep, going second, Gold Sark is
going
not
second. Against him, I would take out maybe you can either take out a Call and a Descent or both Descents because you're going to side the Decrees in against him for sure.
So we're probably putting this in then too.
Probably Space.
Yeah, because Oppression is a card that I'm afraid of, to be honest. That would have cooked us just now. How many special summons we just did?
Consecrated is really good because you can float into it, and Cyber Dragon is great going second because as I said, it's just tempo. You just smack over his guy and then set up your Alk, and that's really bad for him.
Okay, I like this configuration. Is there any do you ever side deck DD Crow against Vayu Turbo? Is that like a thing that you ever do?
Sometimes I do. DD Crow's good. Honestly, I side Soul against a lot more than I do DD Crow. DD Crow's just nice because it keeps your monster count out. So it's another card that like is really good to hit off Alk.
Okay. Yeah, I guess how do we feel about Trag in this matchup?
I really like Trag for synchros, but you can take the honestly what you can also take out is the Fader. Fader is the one card, like I just wanted another hand trap that kind of block things, but
because I'm also thinking about like he's gonna be deck devying us. He's gonna try to anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And this deck's actually fairly immune to deck dev. Like it does fairly well against deck dev a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time if they rip a few fairies out of your hand, you have like a live Kristya or a live extender. Which is very, very nice. And that's a pretty strong opening hand.
Yeah. I'm only afraid of one thing. And he didn't open it. He didn't open with it immediately.
So maybe I would just like charge. See if you can hit like a Kristya or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Alright, well we need Lila here.
Lila or Ryko are both good hits. Because you can just special the Cyber Dragon. That's what I do most of the time here. Like if it's an Icarus, he doesn't want Icarus. If it's a Bottomless or something, it's cleared. And if it's a Ryko, you just 1-for-1 with the Ryko, and then you set your Ryko, and then he's in a bad spot.
So you just like, I'm just going to attack this, right?
That's what I normally do, yeah.
All right. Yep, we like this trade. Yeah. He milled nothing.
And now you can like either set up your Alk, which is really strong, or the Consecrated is probably a pain in the butt against him, especially if you have a call. So you got a lot of decent outs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lila right here. If it gets Bottomless, then Alk is immediately live. Yep.
There you go.
All right. And we have a Call to Haunted that we might as well set. I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah. You got Herald Protection. It's pretty good gaming.
Yep. So we got a live Dialk now. Okay, it's a card trooper.
Oh, you can contact fuse with that so he doesn't draw.
Oh.
You can end phase, get the Cyber Dragon back with the call, and then
That's actually really nasty.
take him off the draw, which is really nice. I think probably end phase is best just in case that is like a torrential or something.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely doing what you just said.
You can also normal summon the Herald of Black Rose, but that's probably less good. Oh.
Alright, none of that is happening now. Okay.
Dialk is still a pretty good normal summon here.
100%.
Like you can turn off his Vayu and...
Yeah, we're doing it. No, he's gonna ask the question of Prio. No.
No. Never Prio.
Okay.
And then you can just banish.
Yeah.
See if you get anything nice.
Trag.
That's a good add back.
Yeah, it's not bad. Alright, let's get in. 14.
This is what I mean, like, Alk is just so good. In this situation, there's really nothing he can do to instantly make it dead. You're getting your card back off that Alchemist. Like,
right.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, no, this is actually a really legit position. I have 2 hand traps. And if things
rare
get,
for the format.
It is. And if things get like super bad, I do have Consecrated. My one Consecrated that I put in.
He's also really low on outs against Consecrated right now. Like, he's milled 2 Rykos, and he's got rid of his card trooper.
All
3
Rykos
Rykos
are gone, yeah. Oh, this can get really weird for him now. Yeah, that's so interesting. He's actually, like you said, he's really low on Consecrated outs.
And you can stop this if you want. I mean, it's up to you. You can just stop the... I would just probably stop the...
Like when he uses
Vayu.
value effect,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Because you're getting like a Lila, you're getting something back guaranteed.
So the question becomes, do we DD Crow? Okay, here's what I'm thinking. There's really no reason not to Crow this value because he could have Dark Armed is what I'm like kind of worried about.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's a good hit.
That's what I'm thinking. He didn't summon it though, and I don't have a back row, so there's really no reason why he wouldn't if he had Dark Arm here, I feel like you just summon it.
Yeah.
So I'm not really 100% sure what's going on here. I would just, if I had Dark Arm here, I would 100% have summoned it. And then like if they have Crow, you waited too long and now I'm activating value and then you Crow the value and it's like, okay. But I think Okay, so this is happening no matter what. So I'm taking 400. I'm adding back a guy. So let me just declare this effect.
Drag might honestly be good because the Alk or the Consecrated Light shuts him down really hard next turn. And if you draw a Fairy, which is like 50% odds, then you have got a Herald to back up the Consecrated.
So you're saying you like the Trag here?
Yeah, it's just additional like offense. The Lila may not be bad, but I mean, the only chance the Lila's really good is if you top deck a Recharge, which is...
Yeah, alright, I'll try the Trag idea. It's just, my hand is so deck deviable is the only thing. I'm a little nervous about that. Like that definitely gives me
I don't think he can get it live very quickly though, that's the good thing.
Oh,
Just summon that Alchemist, get that fat rip in there.
Get that what?
You can either summon the Consecrated or the Alchemist. Both are really strong right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Both are really strong.
I'll try this route.
I think, yeah.
I love this card. I love its art.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Stop asking me that question.
Prio with Alchemist is the world's worst choice. It's just asking to miss timing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's got Mirror Force. Oh, that's so free.
He just said that.
You can stop his Bayou Engrave with the Crow, which is really nice. And even if he deck devies here, you've got a live Trag and you've got the Lila, so you don't. Or I guess you lose Trag and Edison, right?
Trag will die to deck devi 100%.
That fucking blows. But
I think, but if we're being honest though, if he had deck devastation virus, he would have activated.
He would have gone for it. Yeah,
because like fair. Either he is the best player in the entire world and he knows something that I'm just not privy to, or like he's slow rolling it and being really bad with a deck devi in the back row. Like there's no reason why you wouldn't deck devi there.
Yeah. Also, if you activate that Herald, your Kristya is live.
Yes.
If you draw Kristya.
If I ever really see good. One. Yeah.
I think you just drop the fat Trag.
Yeah, I'm dropping it.
You can steal his guys next turn too.
Yep. Where's Torrential? Still no Torrential.
Oh.
That was a good draw.
Good draw. Yep. Well, I get Kristya. I think the Enrise is live. If you can go for a Black Rose here and then Enrise if you want.
I don't like using my Herald that way.
That's fair.
I almost think so. Like you brought up stealing, which is a possibility. I also, at some point, I do want to establish Consecrated Light.
Yeah, I mean, you can honestly just like swing and then Consecrated Light. Take one of his guys, run over the other, summon Consecrated, and he's a really bad spot.
Yeah, because he's used Mirror Force, so I can, like you said, discard Lila, take Greffer, swing, summon Consecrated. This could be Torrential.
That plays around Torrential though. If it's Torrential and you steal and then just go for the swing.
But I'm definitely summoning Consecrated Light main phase 2 if I do all that.
Yeah.
So it's a little awkward, because then that leaves my hand with just DD Crow, Herald, Enrise. But then Enrise would be live.
You can also Stardust Enrise, which is pretty good, but that means you have to use the Herald in your hand.
Yeah.
And I think that's honestly not bad, right? Like, you can interrupt his Plague. The basic Blackwing, the level 6 Armwing, does not get over Enrise or Stardust. Right. So that's a pretty strong play. Like, if he TTs, he loses out on everything.
What if I just put Dragon attack over Greffer, and then just summon Consecrated Light main phase 2?
Yeah, I think that's also an option.
Because I don't think he has any more battle traps. There's 2 Deep Prisons and a Mirror Force here. I want to say his back row is like Could it be MST? Did I give him an opportunity? He used Dust Tornado on my call on draw phase. I think that this is like weirdly dead or something. I don't really have a good read on this.
Yeah, he hasn't used it for a while.
I've given him
If it
opportunities.
were deck dev, he would have used it for sure.
Yeah, I've given him opportunities to do stuff earlier. He just hasn't really done much.
This is just a really strong spot for you. You got the Enterprise, you got the Herald, you got a Consecrated.
Okay. Here's the Torrential. Yep.
There it is.
I knew it. Okay, so that was my original read. That was like exactly why I didn't go for it all, because I could have gone for it all. Okay. So his graveyard is fully loaded.
I still think you're pretty good. I think you can just like either banish his Plague Play if he tries to kill you. You have a live Herald, the worst case scenario.
Yep.
And like Enrise next turn deals with whatever he brings off of Vayu if he can't game you.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right, I just have to hope to not die. I'm at 4,000. It's not that hard to kill me, but
I think you probably stop that.
yeah, I think I do as well.
I don't think it's anything else.
I think I'm just double checking because then I just died to a normal summon right here if I don't stop this. So yeah, we have to banish this Vayu. Just pray he doesn't have like, I don't know, Armageddon Knight or something, because I don't want to use the.
You can stop the Armageddon Knight.
Yeah,
it's bad, but
yeah, it's not that it's bad. I would do it if he summons Armageddon Knight right now, no question. I just don't want to have to do that with my Enrise. I want to use Enrise. I also never get to use this card. Like I kind of just want to use it just because it's fun to use.
It's really live in this deck. It's really live. I think you only play like 6 Dark Fiends or something like that, but people don't realize that the odds of milling one off like a Ryko or Lila is like 25%.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good, and you have recharge and everything, and you can search them out by gold sarking like a Gores or something and summoning your DL.
So he's activating Plague. I don't really get it. 1, 2, 3, 4
I don't get it
darks.
either. I don't think he can kill you this turn. I don't see anyone.
I don't. With one card, I just don't see it. So he's gonna have to show me. Okay.
Yeah, he can't. And whatever he synchros is gone next turn.
Yeah.
And he's in a fucking awful position. Like,
28, I guess I take.
Terrible. Yeah.
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 Maybe he stacked like Brain Control.
The game.
All right. Well, Brain
even
Control
then, like Brain Control, you can just set the Nova Summer after you go in, and TT's gone, so that Lila's removing any back row he top decks.
So this has to finish 3 fairies.
3 fairies and a Dark Fiend.
2, 3, and then
I would probably banish the Trag because you know the Trag might be live and the Gores is dead permanently if you get it back off out.
I like all the things you're saying. Okay, so if I summon this in attack, how much damage is if he brain controls?
I would probably set it just in case. I mean, you can go in, but yeah, there you go. You got it.
GG's. All right. Yeah, I don't.
Because if you set it and he top decks Brain, he can't banish you.
Ow.
Yeah.
Do I tell him? I'm just telling him.
But that's what, like, Blackwings, Vayu Turbo is a really good matchup for this deck. Really good matchup for this deck.
That was good.
And you got, like, Dust Shooted first game. There were a bunch of things that were pretty bad.
No, we played through everything that Vayu did, which is crazy because Vayu is, like, top 2 decks in the format. And
like, look at that hand. That's a good hand. Dust Shoot, Charge, Allure.
Yeah, like, I would never complain about the hands that he has in these games because these are fun. Look at how many 1-ups he has. I remember this is the game where I was like, yo, he just played 3 1-up spells, like, in a row.
And this is what I mean. Like, it looks like you're dead, and you're literally back in the game off a single draw. You get 1 good mill, and the whole game just flips around instantly.
Yeah. No, I'm very pleased with this deck. I genuinely like this deck. I told you, I've watched you play it. You play very fast with it too, so you know exactly like your ins and outs. I think this deck is 100% a real threat in the format because it doesn't really play like anything else. It plays like a very control. That's why I called it Kristya Control. I don't know what you actually named it, but I just called it Kristya Control because the Miraculous Descents give you an extra way to summon Kristya that other decks, I've never seen anyone else doing all of this. Like the Deox, the Call, the actual Kristya, if you just draw it itself, with the Solar Purity and Lights at 3, but it's not Kristya Swarm because you're not going full tilt on Light Swarm monsters. You're just playing the vital ones, and like, it's a lot of engines at work that are good. The low trap
even if you brick, unless you brick on all extenders, you draw like all 8 of your specials. One good card, like one Raikou Mill, one Lila Mill, can unbrick your hand instantly and get you back into the game. But all the cards in the deck are just solid cards on their own.
Yeah, 100%. Dialk is so fucking strong, and like we forced out the
Mirror Force,
the Dust Tornado here. Yep. Yeah, Dialk got Mirror Forced in this match. Like that was so good.
Like here's got the TT. What do? You don't want to use anything on the Dialk because it just gives you a free card back.
Yeah, he kept asking me for priority. I'm like, I'm never using priority.
No,
like it's never happening. Never, not once. Trag so that we don't die randomly.
Trag is just really good in this deck because it's got so much level variation. Like so many times against Monarchs, you just drop a Trag, steal their Monarch, discarding like a Soul of Purity and Light. That's a Fairy. Then you get up to a Kristya. It's really nasty. Because it plays levels for everything. It plays 2 for the Dupe Frogs. It plays tons of 4s. It plays 6s. It plays 8s. Like, Trag in this deck is gross.
That's actually one of the reasons why, when we were talking about siding things out, I was like, I don't want to side out Trag just because you could steal Armwing very easy in this deck. Because you just play 3 level 6 monsters. And
4 with Sork.
4 with Sork, yes. So 4, so you can very often steal a level 6 monster, and then here we're just like, all right, well, we win. Like the only way he wins is if he specifically stacked Brain Control, and like I did. And not even have then, like
he has Brain here. You've got the if you set your Nova Summoner,
which I would.
Brain doesn't do anything. Endrise can't banish face downs. If he swings, you just go into a Dialk or something, and you get your Endrise back.
Yeah, and because I'm at 1200, I was like, oh, I don't have to set this. Like, if he Brain Controls, he does 1,000, or he banishes my Nova Summoner and gives me back my Endrise, right? Yeah. So like, I'm okay with going to 200. 200 is not, I'm not dead, right? I'm just fully alive, and he ended up stacking Heavy Storm, which, again, this is what I mean though. Remember when we were talking, I said, if people don't know what you're playing, like they don't know how this deck is built, this card is terrible. Like this card is fucking awful, and there's no fault of him. Like he had no idea, but a lot of people are going to keep this in because they don't know the list. Like they have no idea what you're actually playing. And then game 1, he got double Miraculous Descent. So he probably was thinking like, oh,
you want to keep it in. Yeah.
Right. It's a catch-22 type of thing. But yeah, heavy doesn't actually serve you a lot of times. And those replays, we watched someone have a bad Heavy Storm, and now we just played and literally had a bad Heavy Storm situation for the opponent. So, but this was a great showing. I mean, you just beat the best deck in the format, right? Like this is what everyone believes is the best deck in Edison. It has the most wins and all that now. So 2-0 victory. And he didn't draw bad. Like he actually he did not draw bad. We got Dust Shoot in.
He drew a pretty good deck game last time, Dust Shoot.
Yeah. So I'm very pleased putting this was fun. I cannot wait for people to see this video. Actually, this is one of my favorite ones that I've recorded in a while. I genuinely enjoyed this. This and the Amaryllis one with Little Man was also really good. So I've been putting out some bangers lately. This is definitely going to be cool. I just have to make a thumbnail. But thank you so much for coming on the channel and doing this with me. Do you want to give any shout outs to anybody or anything?
No, thanks for featuring me. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad you enjoyed the deck. I'm happy to play with people. I've had the most fun I've had playing Edison with this. Like I was playing Zombies in before. This just feels very consistent, and it's so fun because there's so many things and so many lines of play with every hand.
Yeah. That
it's really been enjoyable to play. So I hope other people try it out. I think Miraculous Descents are still dirt cheap for like the ultis and the supers, so... Yeah,
I'm about to order some. after this. I'm about to order a playset. I'm just gonna get them out the way. I don't want to deal with the bullshit that people like to do. I'm just gonna order my Miraculous Descents as soon as we get off this call and call it a day. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace!